Welcome to Defense Upcast, your daily deep dive into the defense strategy and geopolitics shaping tomorrow's world. Imagine once hostile actors across a war-torn border becoming cautious allies. That's exactly what's happening as India moves to engage the Taliban in Afghanistan, and the ripple effects could reshape South Asia forever. For decades, India's relationship with Afghanistan has been anchored in development aid, infrastructure building, and strategic counterweight to Pakistan. After the Taliban's return to power in August 2021, India pulled back its embassy and adopted a cautious wait-and-watch approach. But the regional landscape has shifted. Pakistan's influence in Kabul has sometimes backfired. China is eyeing Afghanistan as part of its Belt and Road ambitions, and India's own security environment remains threatened by cross-border militancy. In this context, New Delhi has begun recalibrating, not full recognition, but selective engagement with the Taliban regime. Let's unpack the key dynamics driving India's warily welcomes strategy. Security assurances. India insists that Afghan soil must not serve as theater for attacks against it. The Taliban, seeking legitimacy and investment, have provided assurances in regional diplomacy, economic and trade access. India's interest in routes to Central Asia via Afghanistan and Iran's Chabahar port helps reduce reliance on Pakistan-controlled access. Talks between Indian and Taliban officials have emphasized this, preserving past investments. Over the past 2 decades, India invested billions in Afghan infrastructure and humanitarian projects. Abandoning Afghanistan entirely risks losing those assets and the associated soft power, balancing Pakistan and China. As Pakistan's influence in Afghanistan weakens and China seeks to expand its reach, India fears being left out. Engaging the Taliban is a hedging strategy. Ideological and human rights tension. India faces a diplomatic dilemma. The Taliban's governance raises concerns of women's rights, minorities, and democracy. India can't endorse these, but still wants to engage. Together, these factors explain why India is neither ignoring the Taliban nor fully embracing them, but engaging cautiously. What are the consequences of this shift? For India's regional posture, it signals a more nimble and pragmatic foreign policy. By reopening its Indian mission in Kabul and offering humanitarian aid and trade access, India asserts influence. Example, upgrading its mission to an embassy in 2025. For Pakistan-Afghanistan relations, Afghanistan's tilt away from Pakistan in certain areas, e.g., trade access via India, border friction, signals Islamabad may be losing its strategic depth. For Afghanistan and the Taliban, receiving Indian engagement means the Taliban gain an alternate partner to diversify away from sole dependence on Pakistan or China. It also gives them economic lifelines when international recognition is limited. Risks for India. Engaging the Taliban risks reputational cost due to human rights issues, possible blowback if terrorist groups exploit Afghan territory, and alienation of domestic foreign critics who see the Taliban as regressive. Wider geostrategic tilt. The move indicates South Asia is entering a new era where old alliances are shifting. Trade corridors, border definitions, and power projections are being rewritten. India's decision to warily welcome the Taliban doesn't mean endorsement of their ideology. Far from it. But it does reflect a recognition that in a changed landscape, India cannot afford to stand aside. With regional rivals seeking to fill the vacuum, India's engagement is a calculated step. Diplomacy over isolation, pragmatism over idealism. In the words of one analyst, India is not saying, "We like the Taliban," but rather, "We'll engage them because the stakes are too high not to." As the dice roll on Afghanistan's future, New Delhi is choosing to be a player, cautiously but unmistakably.